To our Oracle, and I switched out microphone, so it should sound a lot better. We're doing another astrology reading today. We are on a roll, and today we are doing it for KJ. So KJ wanted a reading, so we're going to do a reading for KJ. Let me make sure that name is correct. Yep, KJ. All right. KJ is a female and is having issues with money. And so we look at the natal chart, we can kind of see the issues with money sort of caused over here by the malefic contrary to the sect. In other words, the worst planet possible, basically. So the malefic contrary to the sect is sitting dead center, well, not dead center, on the third of the second house. Good news, it's not way into the second house, not too concerned with it. If you look at my notes, October is going to be a bit of a relief. And 2020, we get our annual perfection to move to the next house. Now, if you're a Hellenistic person, you know that based upon the age, our perfection is here. But one thing about perfections is we get to start wherever we want. So what I did was I basically started at the second house, since they're asking about the second house. If they're asking about career, for example, you start at the 10th house. So I started at the second house. And since that's the first house that we come to for 2019, 2019 will be sitting dead center in here. So we have 2019 since we didn't have to count. Basically, we're sitting on the root of the 36. So here we have the 2019 is going to be located in the second house. Second house is fixed. Scorpio. Scorpio likes the drama. Scorpio likes the spice, as I call it. One of my best friends is a Scorpio, and she, as I call it, likes the spice. She likes a little bit of spice in life, and that being fixed in Scorpio means that thing is not really going to move, and so we're going to have just issues with money. But again, it gets better. We'll look at that in a minute when we get to the general forecast. So I do want to talk about all the planets are sort of down below. Now, in the chart that we had before, all the planets were up above. Up above, as you remember from my basic astrology stuff, is how we interact with the world, or our external self. And down below is sort of our private self. And we have sort of a private person here, right? Sort of a private person has a lot of secrets as well, with the lot of fortune being in the 12th. So we do have sort of a hidden information or secrets, things that we want to keep hidden. So it seems like that you have a lot of sort of an introverted type chart where you like home life, you like the family, you like the husband. And when you get into Capricorn in the fourth house as well, where we have the sun, and then we have our communication, and then down here with the children and how you express yourself, your artistic abilities, things like this, we have that as well with the most powerful planet in the chart, which is the benefic, which is in the sect. So we have the benefic in the sect, the good planet, contrary to the sect over here, the bad planet. So interestingly enough, they also form a square to each other. But there's a thing in Hellenistic called overpowering, and that's basically as we move this away, we have the more powerful stuff up here. So this is sort of corrupting as well, this ability. Part of Venus obviously is money, right? That's one of the definitions of Venus. It's like a minor one. So Venus is sort of where the money is. Show me the money. Jupiter, a little less, but Jupiter does have money in many books, references and things like this. But overall, we're looking at this feeling of overpowering, and we are looking at the malefic contrary to the sect with a direct square to Venus using whole sign houses, meaning that this money is messing up the family life, a lack of money. So we have a lack of money that is indeed messing up the family life. It's sort of corrupting your artistic abilities as well. Venus, 15 degrees in, should be pretty powerful over here, but again, it's being overpowered. Now, I want you to look at something interesting and look at dignity. Look at Jupiter. Jupiter has a plus 10 dignity, which, by the way, is insane. I've never seen that before. That's insane. So Jupiter is literally superpowered, and Jupiter is in the third house. So I emailed you the question. I was kind of curious. Do you have any siblings? Why is Jupiter so superpowered? Do we have this tight relationship with the siblings? Do we have a communication? Are you just amazing at communication, which is another aspect of the third house, right? So I'm kind of curious as to why this has so much power. This is literally superpower. It is the Avenger of the chart. And as we sort of move that over into here, since we can do sort of that overpowering, you remember as we sort of slide counterclockwise, is this super Avenger over here contributing to making money possibly with temporary work or things like that? Because Capricorn being in the fourth house makes me think you're maybe a housewife or, a homemaker, right? Or you work from home. You do some type of work from home, especially with the sun and Mercury being kind of tight up here. You could work from home. You could do something like that. And this is a cardinal sign. And we have this cardinal theme in the fourth house, meaning that there's a lot going on in the home. There's a lot going on in the home. So I'm kind of wondering if you work from home or if what you do, because we do have traditional astrology of, doing work, doing things like this in the sixth house of health. So you have the moon and Mars in here in the health category. It makes me think maybe you do something with health. Maybe do something work from home, maybe do something IT with a hospital, or maybe you're a nurse, or maybe you do some hospice care, something like this, hospice care, or something like this. So it's interesting that we have this health right here, right? And it is mutable as well, meaning that you pretty much could do temporary work. And if you haven't thought about this, by the way, you could do temporary work in healthcare industry. So this sort of points to, especially the moon being here, temporary work in the healthcare industry. Now you'll notice that Mars up here is +3. So we got a +3 Mars, meaning you do have opportunity for temporary work, gig work, things like this. And Venus in the 5th, that's artistic, man. That's artistic. Do you have any artistic abilities that you could use to make money? That's my question. What can you do artistically? Because you're fresh, stuck in here, right? You're dead center of the house. And this is the self-expression, in addition to being children, obviously. This is the self-expression and the money sign. This is self-expression, love, money sign. This being here really points me to artistic abilities that you could use to make money. So if you have anything, if you haven't tried art, you desperately need to try something. Try something like, drawing with colored pencil, or, obviously you said you suffering from money, so, don't go all out, but you can buy a cheap colored pencil set or something. I don't know. I mean, try to borrow a colored pencil set or get a pencil and paper and try art. Or do something with art. You could do music, you could do art, you could do readings, you could do anything, right? But that sort of points me to this gig work or this temporary work. I think you have the ability to make money either in healthcare or in some type of artistic endeavor. Now again, money is going to ease up a bit in October 2020. However, this is not going away. You're going to have an issue getting money. Getting money for you is going to be a little bit more difficult than most people. Earning money is going to be a little bit more difficult than most people. So you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to adjust to that, and you're going to have to use different avenues in order to make money, in my opinion. So I think that this is really going to be focused for you on money. It's going to get better, but it's not going to be like the dam opens up and water flows. And speaking of water, you're going to need a drink. The dam opens up and water flows. It's rough. I mean, you have that sitting there, and it's not going away. So I'm just saying. All right, so let's look at some of your previous peak periods. I wanted to mention this one. It looks like when you were, 2000. So you were 17 going on 18. So 17 going on 18, you had a loosening of the bond. So what is that? That's where you have a major life sort of change, right? Something big changed. An era came to an end and a new one began. And so that makes sense with when you're 18 and 19. This is most people, have that change, but something big happened in there. So they have a loosening of the bond. And so I'm kind of curious, put in the comments, what happened, or let me know what happened. So I'm kind of curious as to what was the major event back in 2000, 2001. Again, I'm kind of curious. So you did have that major event, and that was a loosening of the bond. So let's look at aspects. Yeah, let's look at some transits. So let's look at I already talked about the annual perfection. So again, if you're a studier, rough day. If you're a student of Hellenistic tradition, the Greco-Roman period, you're going to know that the Lord of the hour marker, or the domicile Lord of the hour marker, is over here. And that is going to be our basic, powerful, artistic planet right there. So if we want to do Lord of the hour marker, we're back to, how about you try some art? So Lord of the art marker. There you go. Lord of the art marker. Fixed sign. Going to be some stubbornness there. It's going to be some stubbornness. I'm sorry. So, it's not going to be something that's cured overnight. You're not really going to want to do it, maybe. Maybe you're not going to want to pursue that. But, you can do art, sell it, open up an Etsy account. I don't know. I would pursue this option. So let's do annual perfections. Again, forward it up one house because she asked about money. So here is our beginnings. So if our beginnings, Lord of the hour marker, etc., etc. Well, basically, I want to look at Venus, since we're coming to the original one. Yeah, we could look at Mars. So if we look at the original one, it would be Venus. We look at the new one, it would be Mars. So I ran both charts. Because somebody, sometime, somewhere is going to look at this that knows the Greco-Roman tradition. And they're going to be like, why didn't you do Mars? I'm going to say, I did do Mars. It's right here. They're going to say, but did you try doing the original? I did do the original. It's right here. So let's do both. So they both point the same direction. Obviously they're not really close anyway, and as far as astrological is concerned, but they both point to the same direction. So if you look at when Mars enters the second house, or any second house activity, obviously we have Moon spamming the second house constantly. Did I filter Moon? No, God, no. That would be too smart of me to filter Moon. Anyway, so we look at when Mars, again, the new one, right? We look at when Mars comes in, looking at November. But if you look at when Venus comes into the second house, you're looking at October. So you're looking at, if we fast forward, you're looking at late October, early November, mid-November, somewhere around this period, it starts getting better. Right? Because look at this. Here we go. Right dead center into the second house. It has some issues with Mercury before then, and you notice that Mercury is retrograded. So up here, let's talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about this. So, November, I would say mid-November, late October, it's starting to get better. And it's starting to get better by entering the second house. And then we have a nice trine with the sixth house, meaning the temporary work you do, or the temporary work you could do. Again, sixth house medical, sixth house temporary work, things like this. It's sort of a negative house. It's not a positive house. It's not anything great, especially Hellenistic. It's sort of a negative house. But then you have, look at this, it's easing Saturn in the second house. So this is sort of gathering control of Saturn, because if you look at Saturn's dignities over here, Saturn has a +0, but Mars has a +3. So I really think that Mars is going to ease up the Saturn control. I know Mars is a malefic, but I'm just saying it's +3. I don't think it's going to be that bad, and it's going to be the annual perfections planet ruler that we're looking at. So again, I think it's going to ease up on this money constraint that you have over here. I think it's going to ease up on that. I do think around December, maybe a hiccup, especially since it's near this retrograde Mercury in the fourth. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. But I think it's going to, I think it's not going to do bad because it is, well, it is a malefic and it is square, but I don't really think it's going to do that bad on the fifth house. I really think that it's sort of going to link the fifth house. I mean, it's just subjective opinion here. So again, here we have some more nice things. And again, it moves out about January. It moves out about January. And I think that's when 2020 sort of picks up, right? I think that's when it picks up. Now, the end of, well, in a few days, in a couple of days, the end of June, we have this pain in the butt retrograde. Same thing in September and things like this. So basically, it's going to nail your work and fourth house together. And that basically means don't mix home and work, right? Or don't mix home and fame or what you do for your legacy or things like this. Don't, just be careful of how that communication goes and don't let it spoil anything, or don't call husband's work, or just stuff like this. Just make sure that nothing happens here that you don't want to happen here. Does it make sense? No? Okay. So let's get rid of the annual perfection. Let's go to annual perfections over here. So again, this is, I know I shouldn't be doing the original. I'm doing the original. I'm saying, again, we're talking October, moves into the second house, right? Eases up on that Scorpio, and it has a square with itself in the fifth, which both are benefics. So I really think that that's going to enhance around October 21st. Things at home, it's really going to make your creativity better as well. So we have a lot of good stuff coming. A lot of good stuff coming. It's going to be easier. It's not going to be easy. Again, why? Thank you. Not going to be easy, but it's going to be easier. In other words, the weight, it's kind of like weightlifting when you're done with a set. The set wasn't easy, but now that you're done with it, there's that sigh of relief and that need for more water, apparently. So, zodiacal releasing periods. What do we have over here for the entertainment purposes? Oh, we have October. I skipped the phase one. What did I do with it? I think I put it in the trash. I skipped the phase one. I mean, because you're looking at pretty much October is the inclination period, October 6th, October 26th. A pretty quick turnover here, right? I mean, that's a pretty quick turnover. So October 26th is going to be a peak period. And again, if you haven't watched these videos, you have an inclination period where things are looking up, things are getting better. You have a peak period where this is the best time for whatever your venture, right? If you're going to start something new, or you're going to have something fun, or you need to make some adjustments, you're going to ask for a raise, just your peak period, starting a hobby, whatever, peak period. And then you have your declination period, and that's going to be obviously climbing the mountain, coming up, and then climbing down. So your inclination period, when things are picking up, is going to be October, basically. So we have October, and we're hitting the peak period. Now, this is a major peak period. This is major peak period. Right here, this one here, this is major. We have a 10th house peak period. This and this are major. So we have a major peak period coming in October 26th. And that sort of jives with, did I say jives? I'm old. So that sort of syncs with what we just saw in the transits, right? This syncs with what we just saw. Look at this peak period. October 26th through December the 15th. That is a nice, thick, healthy peak period, and it covers both of those transits charts that we just looked at, right? Going to be a nice, major peak period for you right here, and it'll last a long time. I think things are going to be a little easier. I think things are going to be a little smoother as we come towards, the end of the year holidays. I think it's going to be all right. And then we have the declination period, which is going to be December to February. That's going to run you right in those holidays and whatnot. It's going to be weird, but it is Cancer. So it's going to be you're still going to be family oriented. It's going to be a comfortable family situation. It's not going to be bad. It's just going to be not as awesome as that late October through December, right? So then we have an inclination period in February. And again, the other peak period. Again, there's two here and here. And for the second one, we're coming in at 4/3/2020. I said 2020 is going to be a better year. Why? Because 2020 right here, if we move forward the annual perfections when starting from here, you now have 2020. And this is going to be all about money. And we have the Avenger, Captain Marvel herself, Jupiter right here with a sick, twisted +10. Twisted +10 right here. Is really going to help you out. Can it overcome this? I don't know. But it's really going to help you out. We have the sick, twisted thing. 2020 is going to be a better year. 2020 is going to be a better year. I'm just saying. It's going to be better than what you're currently experiencing. And April 3rd, 2020 as well, through May 23rd is going to be nice. Now you have the declination in May period, but whatever. It's going to be nice. So your question was, will it get better? Yes, it'll get better. Obviously, it's going to get better at certain times. Again, you're about to run into the two best times, the two best places that you can be. So yes, it's going to get better. I wouldn't fret too much. Did I say fret? That's it. I'm old. So you get the idea. Anything else I can do? We did Domicile Lord of the Hour Marker. We did the Lot of Fortune. We did everything, I believe. So anyway, that is my reading. And hopefully you enjoyed it. If you would like your own reading, please email me at the email address in the description. Include, obviously, your birthday and time. Time's critical. Please include time. Your birth date, your birth time, and location where you were born. If you would like transits, like you just saw here, which are always handy, I need to know the state or sort of the general area you're in. I don't need to know exactly. Just the state, right? I mean, the planets, it'd be close enough. Just give me the state, the general state that you're in, and I'll do transits. If you don't want to reveal that, then don't send it, and I won't do transits, and we'll be cool. So we'll just do zodiacal releasing, we'll do annual perfections, and have a bunch of fun. So anyway, so that is my reading. As always, please hit like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and have a great day.